Naiulat ang pangaras po ng Chinese Coast Guard sa Philippine Coast Guard sa West Philippine Sea kung saan gumamit ng military-grade laser weapon. Ang isang vessel ng Chinese Coast Guard dapat samantalang ikinabulag ng ilang mga personal ng Philippine Coast Guard. Ano nga ba ang mga hakbang ng DFA sa isyong yan? Makakausap natin si Ambassador Teresita Daza, spokesperson ng DFA. Good morning po, ma'am.
Magandang umaga po sa inyo.
Opo. Ambassador, this is Aljo Bendijo, ma'am, ng PTV. Ilang mga bansa na po kabilang ang Amerika, Germany, Australia, ang nagpahayag po ng pagkabahala sa panibagong insidente sa pagitan po ng Chinese Coast Guard at Philippine Coast Guard sa West Philippine Sea. Ano po ang ibig sabihin nito? At ano ang nasasabi ng DFA, ma'am, tungkol dito?
Of course, pag nagbibigay ho ng suporta ang ibang bansa, nagpapasalamat ho kami. We welcome actually messages of support, especially when it comes to issues related to ensuring that the rules-based order in the seas is something that's actually promoted and protected. So sa mga ganitong paraan ho, importante rin ho na nagkakasuporta, lalo na ho sa pag-promote ng UNCLOS at saka yung Arbitral Tribunal Award of 2016. Pero siguro ho, importante, Mr. Aljo, balikan ho natin kung ano ang nangyari para maintindihan ho ng ating mga viewers kung bakit po ito ang nangyayari. Ano po? Siguro ho, mag-umpisa ho tayo with the fact that yung Ayungin Shoal po ay within the Philippine Exclusive Economic Zone.
Opo.
Yung Ayungin Shoal po is 105 nautical miles from west of Palawan compared to China, which is about 694 nautical miles. Under international, particularly UNCLOS po, ang EEZ is with the Philippines. And because it is within us, we will have sovereign rights and jurisdiction over the exclusive economic zone, which means to say we will be able to explore and exploit, we'll be able to manage it, and we will also have the prerogative for legitimate activities. Ngayon po, nung February 6 po, there was a legitimate activity that was undertaken. Yung isang vessel po natin in support of another rotation and resupply mission was en route po sa Ayungin Shoal. Pero ang nangyari po ay yung ating BRP Malapascua ay ito po ay sinado, hinaras, nagkaroon ho ng exchange challenges in terms of calls, but at the same time nagamit po ng military-graded laser. Ito po yung nangyari doon sa February 6. And because of that, and this is what was reported us by the Philippine Coast Guard. Because of this, and upon verification and also report from the National Task Force of West Philippine Sea, the DFA launched a protest against what happened and also actually called attention to the aggressive action taken by China against our vessel within our waters. And also called attention to the fact na this is coming after the time when the President actually visited China and also already had some agreement that the differences when it comes to South China Sea and West Philippine Sea will be addressed in a diplomatic manner and through dialogue. This incident is not consistent with that, and that's exactly why the protest was launched.
Opo. Okay, sinabi po ng China na nananatili naman kalmado ang sitwasyon dyan po sa Ayungin Shoal. At ang ginawang hakbang ng Chinese Coast Guard ay professional at restrained. Opo, ano po yung reaksyon dyan in behalf of DFA?
From our perspective, we have no basis to doubt the report of our Philippine Coast Guard. But from the report, to harass, to shadow, to actually put in danger not only yung vessel but the crew, and more important, to actually target and point a military graded laser, not just once but twice, actually is not restrained in all accounts. And it's largely because of this that the DFA actually launched the protest.
May tanong po si Rex Remesio ng CNN Philippines, Ambassador. Ano ang posisyon ng DFA sa tila magkaibang pahayag ng Chinese Coast Guard at Philippine Coast Guard hinggil sa insidente sa Ayungin Shoal? Una pong sinabi ng Chinese Foreign Ministry na hindi nagsasabi ng totoo. Nagsisinungaling daw ang Philippine Coast Guard hinggil sa laser incident.
Kaya nga ho, paulit-ulit po kami nagsasabi na we have no reason to doubt the PCG. And the PCG has actually submitted its incident report. Alam niyo po, ang DFA, pag nagtatanggap po ng report, hindi naman ho biglang mag-a-act, no?
Opo.
So we received a report. The report has to be verified. And there are actually other additional reports that come from the National Task Force of West Philippine Sea. And based on that, there is an assessment, a verification and assessment, and based on that, a necessary diplomatic action is taken. So we stand by the report of the PCG on this, and we call on China that while we want to engage with China, the engagement should be based on facts and based on goodwill. Because what we're seeing at this point in time is the lack of congruence between what is actually being said, what is being announced, and what is happening on the ground or on the seas. So there has to be some congruence so that our relations can actually move forward. And the other point that we want to raise is the incidents, no less than the President has called attention, serious concern about the increasing frequency and intensity of actions that are happening in West Philippine Sea. Kaya nga po, we're calling on China to cease and restrain from this action kasi hindi lang ho ito damaging, this dangerous, it is also destabilizing in terms of the peace and stability in the region.
Ito bang ginawang pagtutok ng isang laser weapon sa ating Coast Guard personnel, Ambassador, na nagkaroon ng panandali ang epekto sa kanilang paningin, temporary blindness, ay isang legal o lehitimong paraan ng paggamit sa sandatang ito? Hindi po ba ito ipinagbabawal sa ilalim ng international law?
Thank you for that question. Yung shadowing ho, harassment, illegal radio challenges, dangerous maneuvers, ang pagtutok ng military-grade laser light ay ang mga serious na mga hakbang upang hadlangan po ang Pilipinas na masagawa ang lehitimong aktibidad dun sa ating iisip at bumubuo ng isang purong banta sa sovereignty ng bansa natin. Ang mga naturang aksyon na huna ito ay hindi naaayon sa freedom of navigation afforded to states, especially coastal states katulad ng Pilipinas. We can cite the provisions in UNCLOS that have been violated with this recent incident. And also, this is not in keeping with relevant rules and regulations on navigational safety, not to mention the basic principles of professional seamanship, and have endangered the PRP Malapascua and its crew. So, importante ho malaman, hindi ho ito legal, hindi ho ito restrained, hindi ito professional. It is violative of existing laws, both in UNCLOS as well as in terms of navigation. And we hope that this does not continue or is not repeated.
Okay. So we have to sustain ito pong sinasabi nilang pag-iingay. Do we have to do that? Kung maaari, record natin, kunan natin ng video, kung sakali man na mangyari na po uli ang ganito pong pangaharas sa ating pong mga tauhan, mga sundaluan o Philippine Coast Guard, upang sa ganun ay at least man lang maramdaman ng China na hindi lang Pilipinas talaga nakatingin sa kanila, kundi ang buong mundo na po.
Importante ho na ang mapapalabas po ay yung katotohanan.
Okay.
At saka po, ay yung nangyayari po dyan, at makikita po sa ating protesta, ang DFA po almost regular na nagpro-protest kasi marami pong illegal na action na nangyari.
Opo.
Isa lang po ito, yung nangyari ho sa February 6, isa lang po yan. In fact, in 2023 alone, mga 9 NVs or protest na po ang inilabas ng DFA. Kasi po, sa amin, perspektibo, importante po maging vigilant kami. And through diplomatic action, be able to say that this should not continue. This is violative of international law, and we should actually do all actions that do not escalate tensions within our waters. So yun po ang aming pinaparating.
Sa mga inihaing protesta, ilan po ang natugunan ng China? At ano ang karaniwang tugon nila dito sa ating mga diplomatic protest?
Siguro, ibigay muna ho natin sa atin, no, yung sa protesta. In 2022 po, almost 195 NPs protests have actually been issued by DFA. And in 2023, as of today po, it's 9 already NVs that have. So under the administration of our president, there's about 76 that have already been issued. So this actually demonstrates amin yung DFA's commitment to remain vigilant in terms of safeguarding our waters. And because of the nature of our job, we will have to go through the diplomatic process. So it's diplomatic protests and NVs that are being set. Every time there's an illegal intrusion or illegal action that's actually been committed in our EEZ. Ang China naman po, sumasagot naman po, pero wala ho akong number ngayon kung ilang sagot ang binibigay, no? Pero so, minsan po, ang sagot nila ay based on an individual incident, minsan po, omnibus response ang binibigay po ng China.
May follow-up question si Rex Remesio ng CNN Philippines. Panahon ba na i-invoke na natin ang Mutual Defense Treaty dahil sa insidenteng ito? Ma'am?
Siguro, separate issue po yan. Ang ano po dyan ay we are dealing first with the incident, ano? And in this incident, we're saying that it is aggressive, it is threatening, it is actually dangerous, it does not contribute to the regional peace and security, and because of that, we want it to stop. We want to engage with China as friends, but as friends, we have to engage based on truth and goodwill. We have to have congruence between what is being said and what is being done in the waters. And we want to actually build on the relationship. But this incident should not continue if we are to build on the relationship.
Kumusta ang communication mechanism na napagkasundoan po ng Pilipinas at China? Yung pong direct communication line, umiiral ba ng dalawang bansa, Pilipinas at China, sa usapin po ng West Philippine Sea? Ma'am?
Kung naaalala niyo po, Mr. Aljo, no, na nang bumisita po ang presidente sa China, nag-sign po ng parang arrangement para magkaroon ng parang communication mechanism between the office in the Department of Foreign Affairs and the Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs that handles maritime issues. So nagkasunduan, inayos po kung sino po yan, anong telephone number, kung paano po sila magko-communicate. So, noong February 14, tumawag na po ang China, ginamit po yan. February 14, mga 10:30 plus po, 10:38 if I'm not mistaken, na tumawag po sila, ginamit po yung direct mechanism, at ang nangyari po ay, as expected, ninarate nila ho yung position nila. Sa atin naman, ninarate din ho natin na anong nangyari at how we considered the incident as aggressive and also as threatening, and also that we hope that this does not actually continue. So yan po ang nangyari dun sa first use of the communication mechanism. Nagsabi rin ho ang China, gusto ng engagement. Tayo naman po, we've been always open to engagement. In fact po, yung foreign policy thrust ng administrasyon ng presidente po ay to be friends to all and enemies to none. We are open to engagement and different levels at different forums, and that applies to all po. We want to be friends, but this should be actually based and should not in any way sacrifice the national interest of the country. Pero pag ang teritoryo nyo at yung vessels nyo at saka yung crew are placed in danger, when for example our fisher folks cannot actually fish in the waters, iba naman hong usapan yan. Kaya nga po ngayon, nagsasabi ho kami, we welcome different forms of engagement. In fact, in addition to what is already existing, meron naman ho kasing existing forms of engagement between the two countries. Gagamitin din ho yun. Gagamitin din ho itong communication mechanism. Pero sana po, may concrete action that will be taken on the different calls and protests that have actually been sent already by the country to China.
Ano ang proseso sa mekanismong ito, ma'am? Communication mechanism na inilatag po ng Pilipinas at China? Ang process po niya?
If you recall, this is actually to implement the Philippine-China 2017 MOU on strengthening cooperation. And we want to actually enhance coordination and cooperation. So ito po, it establishes it in two offices, one office in the Department of Foreign Affairs and another office in the Chinese ministry, but the offices are actually supposed to handle maritime issues and concern. So what happens is there will be a line that will be used for urgent maritime issues and concern. Wala hong definition kung ano hong urgent yon. So nasa bansa na ho kung kailan gagamitin. Noong February 14, ginamit po ng China at sinagot naman po ng Pilipinas.
May tanong po si Job Manahan ng ABS-CBN News. May details na ba sa tripartite agreement among US, Philippines, and Japan? Ano po ang nature ng deal?
Nung pagkatapos ng visit sa Japan, ang instruction ng Presidente ay to actually discuss the matter. So ongoing discussion po yan.
May tanong si Joanne Nano ng UNTV. Does DFA have any plans to send financial assistance for the earthquake victims dun po sa Syria? Kung meron po, magkano? And kailan po natin gawin ito?
Sa Syria po, siyempre nakikiramay ho kami sa nangyari sa Syria at nangyari po sa Turkey. May ongoing discussion ho on ang klaseng assistance ang ibibigay po sa Syria. Kasi each country has unique circumstance and unique needs. So there's a need for matching po. So there's an ongoing discussion on it. Gusto rin ho i-add, dun sa Syria po, we have an embassy in Damascus. They're closely monitoring the situation. In fact, as we speak right now, there is a 6-man team that is in Aleppo and is moving around the affected areas. There are about 60 Filipinos that are in the affected areas, but they are in good, they've been checked, they have not really been adversely affected. There is no casualty. So they're being addressed, some financial assistance is being given or relief is being given them. But in terms of the bigger picture, the support for the country, it's actually being discussed.
Okay. Any message na lang, ma'am, o paalala para po sa ating mga televiewers?
First, I'd like to say thank you for this opportunity, Mr. Aljo. The DFA will continue to vigilantly monitor developments in the West Philippine Sea and will take appropriate diplomatic action on verified incidents of illegal actions on our maritime zone. It will remain steadfast in safeguarding and protecting our national interests and security. It will, however, also continue to engage and urge all parties to comply with the obligations under international law, including the 1982 UNCLOS and the final and binding Arbitral Tribunal Award of 2016. Salamat po sa oportunidad nito.
Thank you, Ambassador Teresita Daza, spokesperson ng DFA.